And it's the 4th year anniversary of the D.C. rally based on false claims of election fraud that blew up into the January 6, 2021 insurrection. Now, hours from now, Vice President Harris will fulfill her duty to certify the 2024 election. And she gave this message to the American people. Take a look.
The peaceful transfer of power is one of the most fundamental principles of American democracy. Today at the United States Capitol, I will perform my constitutional duty as Vice President of the United States to certify the results of the 2024 election. As we have seen, our democracy can be fragile, and it is up to then each one of us to stand up for our most cherished principles.
President Biden also penned an op-ed warning about the unrelenting effort to rewrite and even erase the history of that day. So is that what happened here? I mean, we all watched.
Yep.
I think most of us saw. I mean, some folks still say that's not what happened, but you know, but what do we do?
I think we need to find moral clarity, you know, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, you know, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on, because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget and erase.
I want to ask you, Alyssa, because watching your evolution, when you look back, what goes through your mind?
I've been thinking a lot about this. I'll always be proud of Mike Pence for doing the right thing, but it's also an incredibly low bar. It's simply fulfilling the Constitution, just as Kamala Harris is going to do today, as Al Gore did before her. People have lost, and they've put the Constitution over their political ambitions. I have to say, I think there were warning signs, though, that we would be where we are today. And most Americans were not comfortable with January 6th. They thought it was bad. They thought it was awful. But for 4 years, they said, guys, we are hurting. The cost of living is too high. We are concerned about the border. I predicted here 6 months ago we were careening to Donald Trump's inauguration. People needed to listen that, yes, democracy matters, but if you can't pay your bills, it's hard to care about something as nebulous as democracy. And I think that the warning signs were there. And I say this with due respect to Joe Biden. I didn't disagree with a word he said in that op-ed, but people were saying, we have concern about your age. He waited till August and then gave Kamala Harris this runway to run for president. All the warning signs were there. This was Democrats. They had the chance to stop Donald Trump from being inaugurated. And here we are. But I hope people don't. I hope the whitewashing of January 6th ends. It wasn't right. It never will be, no matter how much people lie about it. But this was avoidable in my mind.
Well, and I think that it's an important thing is to commemorate it every year in a way, not to compare it to 9/11, because, again, it's not an equivalent. But there are people alive today, including my niece, that didn't know 9/11. So when you talk to anyone that was alive during that time, you have a visceral fear response that takes you back there. January 6th and watching the videos that were playing out on screen, it shook you to the core.
Absolutely.
There will be a time when people...
Looking at Kamala Harris, we know Kamala Harris is that woman who failed the election, was being defeated by President Donald Trump. She's still the existing vice president to President Biden. So they are about to hand over. So she says it's going to be a peaceful handover. She's going to hand over, there's no problem. So, which is all right. So the women in the view were all saying that if things were reversed, are they sure that President Donald Trump would do likewise? President Donald Trump have same opportunity. January 6th, everyone saw what he did. Because according to him, the election was being rigged, and he did not want to step down. So January 6th is that incident that even the children unborn will remember it. January 6th, they want to compare it to 9/11. So it's a drastic situation that if you see it, you cannot forget it at all. So it's still in the memory of the children. And everyone was just saying, nope, nope. President Kamala Harris is doing her job. She's a mature person. She's going to hand over. In somebody like Ted Cruz, people have been insulting her. You see them swearing them in as senators. But she doesn't have time because that's her job. She's not going to behave like one little child who will be tampering the whole floor. So that's an according to the women in the view, some of them give that's justice synonyms comparing him to President Donald Trump. So they say she's mature, she's doing a great job, and she don't have time for anything. So January 6th is that one that the women in the view were saying that even the Republicans themselves, they were warned. She said, what happened? They have videos that they have put out. They were not happy at all with January 6th. What happened? So they were wondering the type of country that they were. So, but why with all of a sudden, because they don't like they're in support of President Donald Trump, they will quickly forget everything. But January 6th, according to the women in the view, they say that it cannot even be wiped out. Remember January 6th, remember Fannie Willis, who was the lawyer, the main lawyer in charge. And remember the infidelity that happened with Fannie Willis when that he put somebody who was not who did not really qualified, because nobody really wanted to handle that case. Everybody was scared of what the Republicans were going to do to them. So Fannie Willis looked for somebody who did not have experience, according to the media, and she hired that person. So but we all know later on that the wife of that lawyer came and said that no, Fannie Willis is the one responsible for their divorce. So Fannie Willis is sleeping with the husband. We all know that it was a scandal which was good in the eyes, even for her political career. Even morally, it wasn't right to take somebody's husband. Even people who used to love her, faded love for her, although she won that case, just for you to take somebody you were married before and you divorced your own husband. Now you are going to sleep in her home with somebody else's husband. And they accused her about fraudulent taking the money that was given to her for official purpose and went to a vacation with her husband. But they didn't have proof, which she claimed that she mostly used cash, because her father even came and said something like most of the time she always advised her children to have 80% of their money safe in the house and 20% in the bank, because anything can happen. But what's that apart from everything, that January 6th, Donald Trump still won. But apart from everything, the women in the views were just saying that it's going to be a mature swearing. So according to Whoopi said, everybody should relax. Even the Republican themselves, they don't know what's going to happen. Let them just focus and see what happened, what they have, who they have put, and how you'll behave. Let me see your opinion in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and help share the video.